All right, so here we are. We're looking again at how movement can be more organically supported in the pelvic region. So the pelvis through the pelvic bones, through the legs, and into the earth, back up, and so on and so forth. We looked at this from the perspective of the bones themselves. Um, Bones, we can easily say, are the structures in our bodies that relate the most closely to earth. And I'm talking about the dry, the mineral aspect of earth that we can feel, imagine, notice, and feel in our bodies as a quality, not just of sensation, but a quality of consciousness. So we're going to look now at another way that this pelvic half and leg into earth situation is supported in the body. And we're going to look at how that happens from the organ body and the marrow of the bones rather than the compact, firm, little bit drier outer bone, right? So marrow is flowing within our bones. Marrow is the deep, rich, hot, fluid place where we're making our blood, right? So we could say that there's a deep, rich hum of humanity in the marrow of our bones. And the functionality of marrow is a lot like our organ body. In fact, you could think of marrow as an organ. It has a unified function, and we feel that that unified function of the marrow actually spreads through the whole body and integrates and resonates very, very strongly with our organ system. So when we're looking at our pelvic situation, our joints, our mobility, our differentiation, and all of that, we can look at it from the level of bone, which we have, and we can also look at it from the level of the organ and the marrow. And the very specific organ that we can use in the pelvic bones is the large intestine. So, your large intestine, of course, is the ascending colon, the ascending large intestine, comes right up and hugs into the bone here of the pelvic half. And it comes up to, around your waist or so forth. And it just dives back in the body a bit. And then it comes sweeping around, right? This is the transverse colon. And then it dives back again. And then it comes sweeping down through the opposite side ilium, right? And then, of course, it does come up in the middle, so on and so forth, and it then travels down in front of the sacrum to its releasing at the rectum and the anus. Now, in terms of supporting our legs and pelvic bones, we're very interested in this long, deep, thick, rich quality of the large intestine and how it inhabits our deep pelvic bones, right? Now, here's the interesting part. Since the resonance of organ is so deep, dark, it's full of our humanity, our earth, water, fiery self, right? The passionate humanity of us. And it resonates with the marrow of our bones, which is this very deep, passionate, alive humanity, um, not perfected, right? Just, oh yeah, just alive rich. All right, so the consciousness, as well as the sensing and feeling of the large intestine through the thick marrow, goes into the earth uh, unbroken. And it's not just the consciousness, but it's the prana. So it's this deep, dark, rich flow of prana that integrates seamlessly the pelvic half with the leg. So it's seamless organization, organ and marrow, creates the situation where we can differentiate movement in those halves away from one another and away from the sacrum. Of course, we can unify them as well, but we have the option of the differentiation. So I want to show you in movement how that works. I'm going to put the skeleton aside here, and I'll come up to standing, moving this so that you can see me. I'll come up to standing and demonstrate for you. I hope you can see. I'm going to come where I've got maybe just, you don't need too much light because you know my pelvic calves are here, my hip joints, right? And you know that way deep inside, along right through the deep of me, is this large intestine ascending and descending columns here, right? And if I allow myself to feel the pranic essence of those channels, I'll feel this deep, dark humanity of me, right? And then if I imagine and notice that, okay, my bones are, boy, they're creating the blood of my human form right in there, right? So I say, okay, I get it. That's a deep human something in there that is continuous. And if I roll around the center of that large intestinal deep hum and roll around the center of the marrow's deep hum, it takes me down, and then maybe it rises back up, right? But all in all, its qualities are quite dense, rich, and human. And this is what we're looking at when we go for the qualities of embodied anatomy. We're not just looking at, oh, that's a structure and I can feel it. Yes, you can feel it, and you can keep going because it's also with its hum, lower deep hum, lighter bright hum, different tissues, different hums, different levels of consciousness. So we will explore more in other videos coming up how we can use these organy qualities to alter the shape of our movement, right? And the quality of sensation in our movement, right? And where is the light? Where is the light and the space in this? And do I not want to also be in this form, right? The density, the periphery, and the light, the center, all there, all here for our explorations. Embodied anatomy in yoga. Anatomy is a window to philosophy because it is an embodied reality, right? So let's look at this more together. I hope you'll join me as I continue with these YouTube presentations. And yeah, thank you.